Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Chafing Family Farms. We've got another shop day. It's a bit early, got some dirt work to do outside, but it's too dark to see to cut the gray the way I want to do it. So instead, here's what we're going to do. Later, we've got to go get some gravel. And we've got a small issue with the dump truck. The old tarp doesn't like to work. Looking at it the other day, actually a while back, pretty certain I found our issue. And it's right here. I don't know how well you can see that in this lighting. But long story short, whatever wire they used to wire in the multi-function relay doohickey, well, it rotted out basically. Corroded, all gross. Tarp motor don't work. Therefore, we need to fix it. And instead of working out here in the cold storage side, well, we've got room right now in the warm storage side over there. We'll just move the truck over, let it warm up a little bit, and we'll get to getting. Uh-oh. That don't look good. Don't tell me the gremlin still lives. So grab our key. She dead. Well, shit. Jump pack. Alright, given that this is a computer-controlled engine kind of crap, I'm not certain if this is going to be able to pull it off. But we're going to try anyways. Like I said, those batteries are dead. But now we've got lights. I was going to do a fancy cold start this morning, but I got a feeling we're going to do a no start. What's she thinking? Son of a biscuit. Shut up. That might be why she died. Turn the key off. Thought I turned the key off. Radio's still on. I will say, though, that this key is rather sloppy. Because you can have it on, and it just flops right out. Floppy. Yeah, she's not gonna go. Alright. Well. Shit. Looks like we're working in the cold, because we need to get this shit done. We'll go get a battery charger, get that going. We'll be back. And we're back. I had to run to the shop a couple times to grab stuff. But now I think I got everything ready to go that we need. And right now, little screwdriver. So the controls for this, for the tarp, the bed, everything regarding it. Let's see if we can get you some better light. That might work. Alright, so the controls for it. This controls tailgate and liftgate. Obviously the bed up and down. And here's my tarp switch. Well, somewhere between here and that relay back there is our issue. Like I said, I'm pretty certain it's the wire. So let's get this pulled off and see what we find. Ugh, well, that took way too much effort. Alright, well, in theory, this cap's gonna pop off. Ooh, bunches of shit. Our cables, power lines. Multiple sets of wires going to that. Let's go figure out what it's hung on. Alright. Runs down here. Runs up to there. So you see the cables and harness and stuff coming this way. Runs down and up. Ties into that. Ties into that. Let's snip some of these zip ties. Let's see if we can get more wiggle room out of her. Icon. See how well these good snide snips work. Or the flush cuts. Ooh. There we go. That should give us more room to work, maybe. Does this come up now? Well, we'll see what that does. Well, this feels like one of those times where y'all's view might be rather limited. Alright, we got that. Oh man, this is going to be a fun one. Alright, so the one wire hooked into it ponies over to the, well, I'm going to call it the warning light thingy up here. Maybe telling me the bed's up, something like that. But there should be three wires connected together that run down together. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And they go down and take power off of the top of the relay stack thing. If you don't know, sounds good. Undoubtedly it's going to be all tied together, and I don't know if I'll be able to give you guys the view. I don't know if I can get the view. I don't know how these mechanics in these videos make this shit look easy. Maybe in edit we can. Alright. I still can't see. Well, it appears as if we pull that two connections off the other side. When I say pull them off, we're probably going to snip them. Alright, let's see here. Actually, I lied. We'll snip one of them. So here we've got the ground side, which I think is just a power one way, power the other. Snip that. That's just a spade connector. But we'll pull this one so we know it's the main power supply. Man, it looks like all these like that's just rust-coated crap. Well, it makes me wonder if it's even getting power. Oh, stupid tripod. Come on now, work with me. What is this? Don't know. Well, that was easy. So I'm hoping we just need to replace this shit. Right. I'm going to take a quick picture of this with my phone so I can make sure I get it put back together the way it's supposed to be. Then we're going to pull it off, and I got my little multimeter over there. We're going to verify that the switch works like it's supposed to. And then we might be able to actually pull that whole switch out from there, which will make life a little bit easier. Alright, got this popped out. Basically, you just get up under it, and there's these little tabs that stick out on each side. You kind of got to push them in and walk it on up out. Put a little arrow just so we have it oriented the same way. I mean, it's pretty simple because the terminals are in the front. but we know this is the one that has the power coming to the switch, and then, you know, you push it one way, this switch fires, you push it the other way, this switch fires. What I'm going to do to test this is just a continuity tester. Touch these together, it'll beep. And to verify this works, you know, just put one here, it doesn't really matter, plus or minus. Put it there. That side works good. So in theory, I push it the other way. The other side will work, but only one way. Fantastic. Looks like our switch is good to go. Now we just need to get these wires pulled out, and I don't know if you can be able to tell on this one. Come on, focus. Nope. I don't know. It's corroded a bit in there. I'm hoping or assuming our connections are just crap, but it could very well also be like this. See that rust build up on that terminal there? Ring, or whatever y'all want to call it. Well, I had a little bit, but you can see that reflectiveness to it. So that's where it was connecting. If I hit it just right, you can kind of tell it wasn't fully done right, and this didn't quite fit on there as well as it should have. I've got other ring terminals that will fit that post better. So let's get this cleaned up. Let's get some more wire made up. Well, before we get that made up, we probably need to cut this other end off. I don't know if I want to make this janky or what, but I think if I just cut, well, see, I feel like that's probably a shitty splice. This would leave me enough room. Well, for now, we'll just cut it right here. We'll make an adjustment later as to what we decide to do as far as removing that junction or joint or not. I don't know. All right, let's get the first half of this harness made. Split those there. I'll end up coming back and putting a little tape around here to prevent it from spreading more, but we'll leave it like this until we figure out exactly how much length we need on that. So we'll go in here, 14 stranded. Good. Well, that'll work for now. This is up inside the cab anyway, so I'm not too awful concerned about it. Everything seems to be firmly connected. And we'll use the length of the other one to figure out how long we're going to make this wire. And then we will cut it about 8 inches longer. I'd rather have too much than not enough, and we can cut it to length when we get there. And when I say 8 inches, I mean like a foot plus, because we can. Perfect. One thing I like to do, especially, well, depending on the location of it, or of the, whatever hell you want, spade connector, I like to trim the top of this back a little bit because I'm not going to heat shrink that portion, and I want to make sure it's able to fully seat up against a switch or whatever we're, you know, connecting to. There, you see it's kind of flush. Alright, so I took a length of wire from the cab side, cut it off, and it looks like it's, you know, still clean up through this point anyway, so I'm assuming the corrosion is just on the truck bed side. But I like reusing wire when I can because shit's expensive. Anyways, that's going to be our little jumper to go on the other side. Use a little bigger spade terminal bit. Spade bit? No, spade connector. Spade connector here. So I can fit both wires in. You saw I twisted them together and whatnot. I was going to do some... Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Alright. So since we've already got this one cut to the oversized length, we'll cut these two wires the same. And we'll tape them up nice and pretty. So it should be easier to fish back through the truck. Also, this other wire, I don't know exactly what it's from, but I went digging through the boat and found that sitting there. Looked good enough, and I think it'll work. Alright, now we just gotta figure out how we want to go about connecting these two wires. I think we're probably going to do what they did before. I'll snip it here. Obviously that's a really thin wire, probably for a little LED light. But yeah, we're just going to snip this. Actually, we got a spade connector in it. If that's got a spade connector, that would make life a little bit easier. We can get this bloody tape off. God, I love cold electrical tape. It's probably like 35 degrees in here. Not feeling like it's, well, yeah, it is. Cool. Alright, so we just need to slap a male on the other end of that and we'll be good to go. Oh, bugger. I meant to cut that a lot shorter. Oh well, plenty of room to hide it. I don't like how loose that is. We'll adjust it. Much better. All right, in theory, we got everything done inside the cab. Now it's time to get up underneath. I'm probably gonna run a bunch of zip ties up there to get it, following the line back up, get the hoses hung back the way they need to be so they don't rub on other stuff. And, ooh, the sun's coming up. Nice. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get up under there, get stuff zip tied, get things kind of close to being finished up and ran all the way to the multi-relay, whatever you wanna call it. And then we'll bring it back when we're ready to figure out, you know, what we got to clean up on those studs there. And I dropped too many ands. I'll bring it back when I'm ready. Maybe. All right, got her all zip tied into place good enough for my likings. Got it up to here where we've got a little bit of wiggle room, and you know, that extra foot I added, it's going to give us some room to work. I'm probably going to end up bringing this up and down or something and giving me a little bit more flexibility with everything. It doesn't need to be pulled so tight. Not a big fan of that. So yeah, let's get these terminals on here and we'll probably have to run over to the shop. I'm going to grab a wire brush and I want to clean up all of these. I'm not a big fan of how, I mean, you can see the rust on that. I almost wonder if that relay thing's bad. Might need somebody to help me with that. I'm not sure. You know, somebody in the cab pushing buttons while I'm out here with the multimeter, seeing if it's sending voltage the way it's supposed to or not. I knew I was going to have to pull this tape off, but when you tape a cluster of wires together, it makes it a lot easier. Shove it through a hole. Otherwise, they like to spread out, get caught on everything in its way, and it's just a pain in the booty. This cheap-ass Amazon tape, actually not too shabby. Sticks to itself real good. Damn it. Alright, so the two stuck together is going to be our up and down, which goes on the little tab doohickeys on each side. The lone wire is what feeds power to the switch, and that connects back to the top. So we'll do it first, put the ring connector on it. I've got a more appropriately sized one. The one they had on it before was, we'll just say this big. We needed this big kind of deal. You see? Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so yeah, let's get that put on there. Get the two spade connectors put on. And before we connect those, we'll pull all these wires off and check to make sure they're clean enough and, you know, adequate for what we're looking to do. All right, as you saw, my lighter's dying. I gotta go get a little, I'm gonna get a little stainless brush to clean those terminals up. So we gotta run to the shop again, grab our actual little torch that I use for this normally. And we'll get that pulled apart now and yeah, fuck, you know what I'm doing. All right, in theory, it should work. Those wires that supply power to that's actually ran directly to the battery, so the cutoff switch doesn't cut that off. I don't know if that's a source of our drain. I doubt it because it's like an on-off switch. I don't know. But in theory, I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna push that button, and this bar is gonna go. Although if I push the button the wrong way, it'll pull it tighter first. But if I push that button and it makes noises, it'll be progress. The batteries might not be charged enough for this, but we're gonna find out. Even if it just goes a little bit, we'll know it's fixed and that'll be plenty fine. Huh. It don't work. I think it's gonna be one of those times where I just order their part, maybe get a higher quality one. Undoubtedly that one's low-grade Chinesium. That's the word I was looking for. Yep. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm guessing this is what's kind of messed up because it clicks one way like it's trying to do something, but I am not certain. Maybe I'll just label this shit, pull it off, and put it on a bench. That's, you know what? Let's do that. We're just gonna pull it off because clearly it ain't working right. Actually, no. We can check to see if it's got voltage to it. Let's do that. Yeah. This will give us a chance to see. This ought to tell us what our actual battery voltage is. Just battery voltage is right now. All right, so in theory, I want to say it's these two wires right here. Yeah, it says we got 12.5, 12.7. Yeah, without having somebody here to test this or help push the switch for me and stuff, I'm going to actually, I'm just going to make a little jumper wire, because basically all this switch up there does is connect these 2 points or connect these 2 points, which engages like forwards or reverse on the motor up there, allowing the tarp to go back and forth. So I bet if I made a little jumper wire, just pull these 2 off right now, jumped it from here to here and here to here, that'll tell me if this is not clicking proper or what, because we're getting proper voltage to it. And we'll see what that does, and if we in fact do have to replace it. Jumper wire. I can snake this one under. Maybe that's the one that's working, or not working, or something. I can't really see what I'm doing. Alright, well that was making some sort of noise, but it wasn't actually doing anything, which leads me to believe this is messed up. We'll grab another one, slap it on there, maybe that will fix her. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll grab some tape, label this stuff, and that'll make it easier to put it back together and get the wires where they were originally, because this tarp worked when I got it. Well, that was fun. Not really. As I loosen this one here, come on, this one, the stud spun a little bit. I don't really like that it did that. I don't know how the insides of these are designed. You can't really get in to check it without drilling out the rivets, and then at that point we're just going to replace it anyways. Alright, something about curiosity killed the cat. Spinny bitch. Woohoo! Hey guys. Hey sweetie. You gonna go to school?
We're seeing baby deer.
Nice. Alright, yep. That's what the issue is. Wasn't sealed great, got moisture in it. Rusted out. Piece of shit. Alright, ran uptown, got the new parts, got the mounting hardware wire brushed up. That way it goes together back easier. We're going to go ahead and get that on there, and let's try this trick. Bam! Aha! Got everything wired back up. Now it's time for another test run. Let's get you set up back here. Maybe we can see something good happen. Come on. That looks good. Alright, in theory, I hit this button, that tarp does something. Fantastic! Alright, I'm gonna call that a success. That's gonna be it for this episode. We've got some other work to do on the truck, so if you want to see more of that, make a comment or something down there and I'll try to read it. Yep, I'm good with it. All right, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Tried to make this one a little bit shorter. I figure those big long ones get kind of boring even for me to watch. Definitely for me to edit. Anyways, do the like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. We'll catch you later. Thanks again. This has got to be like doing the dishes after you cook, cleaning up your mess. Ugh.